talking about home inspections, and we have our special guest, Dave. And how do you pronounce your last name? Because I never get it right.
My last name is Giese.
Giese, okay. And then we have another agent here. You want to introduce yourself?
Gerald Craig, Remax Elite.
Okay, so today we're going to kind of talk about just different questions that a lot of buyers may have about the home inspection process. Do you want to kind of give a little bit of background about your company and just how long you've been in it and just
Sure.
stuff like that?
Sure. So I started my company last year. I've been in construction most of my life, so it was an easy transition to get into home inspection. But started last year, coming up on our first year in February. We ended off finishing with just over 400 inspections in 11 months. So,
That's awesome.
Yep. Hoping for 500 this year.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Great.
So I guess one of the main questions to just start off is, why should someone get a home inspection?
I mean, you look at buying a home, it's probably one of the biggest investments you're going to make in
Yeah.
your lifetime. So, say you have a $300,000-$400,000 house or even $200,000 house, you spend a couple $100 just to make sure that you're going into this as best prepared as possible.
Yeah. I agree.
And that way, you know, you have that information and you can take it to your real estate agents and, you know, get the best deal possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, on the real estate contract, it asked if a person wants to get a home inspection, and you don't have to get one. However, our brokers and our trainers recommend that everyone get a home inspection. So we have a little brochure that said everyone should get a home inspection.
Yeah, it's definitely recommended. And I guess another question that I have for you is if someone is looking into buying a new construction home, is it recommended to get a home inspection, or does it really matter? Or what do you think about that?
I think you should definitely get one on a new construction, because at the end of the day, you know, people are building it. People can make mistakes, or that things can get forgotten, or any one of those things can happen. And at the end of the day, you know, you're going to be under a builder's warranty within that first year. So anything that's found is going to be able to get repaired and be taken care of. So, and I do new constructions every year. You know, you always find something.
Do you feel like since people think that's a new construction, there's nothing going to be wrong with it, you kind of see that more than...
Yeah, I hear that all the
Okay.
time. Yep,
That's
and
crazy.
every builder's different too.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. I mean, they're humans, they can make mistakes, so
Very true.
that's very understandable. So I know sometimes people get these two things confused. Sometimes they think that a home inspection and a home warranty are the same thing. Are they the same thing, or what's the difference?
So, I mean, the home inspection is telling you everything that's wrong with the house, what you need to get repaired. A home warranty is protecting certain appliances in the house and certain systems in the house that if they do break, they come in and fix them, where I'm just telling you what's wrong. I don't
Okay.
fix anything.
Yeah, so you're not going to do all the work for them.
No.
Dang. Do you have any questions to add, Gerald?
No, we're covering everything.
Okay. And I know you have a ton of experience with buyers and helping them kind of once they do get the inspection. I guess as a real estate agent, whenever the home inspection is done or the buyer schedules it, is it common for the real estate agent to go when the inspection is being done?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I get buyers and I get buyers agents ask me if it's okay if they're present, especially with everything going on.
Yeah.
And I always tell them, look, it's always better when you have multiple eyes on any given house. The more people looking at the house at once, you know, hey, did you see this? Hey, you know, this looks a little different to me. Can you explain this to me? You know, while I'm there, you might as well use my experience and expertise in the field to explain anything that you have questions on.
For sure, I agree.
Do you prefer that the agent and the buyer's there, or do you prefer they not come?
I prefer them. I'm a talker.
Okay.
You know, I like visiting with people. So.
Yeah. So I guess like once you finish the home inspection, when do you typically send a report? You send a report, right? When do you typically send that?
So the report goes out the same day.
Okay.
It's always same day reporting. I always tell them, you know, once you get the report, give me a call if you have any questions, because I know things come up.
So on your report, you're going to have a written list of things that you find, whether they're hazards, recommendations, or things that may need replacing or repairing. So how do you report that? And along with that, do you do the photographs as well?
Yeah. So every report that I give, usually comes with anywhere from 100 to 150 pictures. Throughout the report, it's color coded. So if it shows up as orange, it could just be a concern or a major concern. If it's a safety hazard, it pops up in the report as a red lettering. And if it's all good or satisfactory, it pops up as green. So everything's color coded. It's all neat. And then on page 3, I think, is the summary list of the whole report, what you may find throughout there that needs to be addressed.
Okay, great.
For sure. So I guess once you send the buyer the report, what should they do? So you send the report and then what?
So once they get the report of everything that's wrong or needs to be addressed, I tell them to get with your real estate agent, and then you guys create a list on what's most important versus what's least important, and that's where the negotiations happen on your end. That's where your expertise comes in.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, so you have them in categories where we can write down 1-2, replace the faucet or those type of things?
Sure.
And on yours, you don't say replace or repair, you just say there's a leak in faucet. Am I correct?
Yeah, so it depends on what it is, and I may recommend the qualified whoever. So if you have a leaky faucet or a leaking drainage pipe, I may recommend a qualified plumber go look at it.
Well, great. I'm glad that you do that. And so you'll recommend a qualified plumber, you recommend a qualified electrician, or there may be some things on there where it may not take a plumber or electrician, like for instance, if there's no gutters on the part of the house. Is that a recommendation, or how do you report that?
Sometimes, there's like check boxes on my report, so, it may say recommend gutters, but it's not going to be something where I require anything. When the buyer's there, I may discuss with them why it's a good idea, why water mitigation is always good for home ownership, but by no means am I going to require them to have it. That's not my position to do so.
So the report is not given to the seller or the seller's agent. You make a list of things that we derive our list from your list. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yep.
So once you have the report, you have it, and it's the buyer's decision. Who, if you want to fix those things, or if you want to negotiate with the seller to see what you want to get fixed before you continue the home buying process. So I guess, what are the benefits for a buyer's inspection and a seller's inspection?
So I think we've been covering, as far as what's good on a buyer's inspection. As far as like a pre-listing inspection or a seller's inspection, that's one of the things that the sellers can get ahead of the problems before they come up on a buyer's inspection, so they can fix whatever leaking gutters or a little faucet or anything that could potentially scare first-time home buyers or anybody else. Because first-time home buyers can get scared of a lot of little things when they can take care of a lot of those on the front end and kind of mitigate that problem.
Do you typically get more requests for buyers report or seller's report?
Buyers, for sure.
Okay.
It's a good idea to get a seller's inspection if someone's looking to list their home. Do you think it's a good idea to go ahead and get that done before listing the home, or what do you think about that?
Yeah, for sure, because once they put that on the market and they have another inspector come in, when you have if they've fixed all those problems, they're going to have an inspector. They may find a couple things, but if they find 3 or 4 things compared to say 10 or 12, that's going to make the buyer feel a lot more at home, and that can also mitigate it where the seller says, "Hey, I did this. This is what he found. This is what I fixed." They may choose to get their own or choose to not go without one. So
Great. So prior to an inspection, the realtor usually recommend 3 inspectors to the buyer, and the buyer make a call to that inspector. So what is your process as far as the application or the contract and the payment?
So what I do is I get their name, email address, and the address of the home. I contact the buyer. We figure out a day that works best for them. I normally operate in 3 different time slots, and I schedule 3 a day. So I don't usually have a problem getting people in, but I send out an inspection agreement to their email. It can be e-signed, it can be e-paid, or they can pay with cash or check in person. So.
You mentioned payment. What is the typical, what is the average payment for an inspection?
So it all ranges. It's different for every inspector.
Yes.
But as far as mine goes, it's broken up into 4 different brackets as far as square footage.
Okay.
So like 1,500 square feet and under, it's $305.
Okay.
1,500 to 2,500 is $345. 25 to 32 is $395, and then above 3,200 is $465. So, and then once you get 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 square feet, you add more just because it's a lot more house.
Yeah.
And we're talking about residential properties right now, and including a residential property, are outbuildings included or any other?
They can be, if that's part of what they want taken care of. Like I've also done like mother-in-law suites, or they have like little cottages in the back or anything like that. Anything can be negotiated, just like in real estate for you guys. So, normally it's part of anything that's with the house. Now,
Okay.
if somebody says I have a shed in the back, I'll be like, well, I'll take a look. It won't be on the report, but I mean, we can at least take a look at it. So.
Okay.
For sure. And I feel like a lot of people, that's one good thing that you talked about. If there's a shed, it's important for the buyer to know that that's not going to be part of the home inspection. It has to be attached to the home.
So, that what other things may not be included in the inspection that people may assume that's a part of it?
I mean, some people, anything like really cosmetic,
Okay.
a lot of cosmetic things aren't really mentioned unless it's a new construction when you want
Okay.
things all taken care of. Sometimes you get buyers that have bad trim work or, bad paint jobs or anything like that. That's something that we'll know in a new construction, but if it's just in a general home, general wear and tear or anything cosmetic's not usually mentioned or
Okay.
Yeah.
at least written up. It may be mentioned to the buyer while we're there, but
Okay.
so.
Okay, well, I know we've touched on a lot of things today. Is there anything that you think is super important that we haven't gone over as far as home inspections on the seller side or buyers?
I think the most important thing for any buyer to really understand is that no house is perfect. There's always going to be something that comes up. There's always going to be something wrong with the house, and it can be big, it can be small. But at the end of the day, everything's negotiable. Everything's repairable. Like, it's just on a matter of what you can negotiate with the seller. So just take everything in stride, work with your agent and figure out what you guys can do. But at the end of the day, get a home inspection.
Yeah, I think
Yes.
we covered very well what you cover, how to get the process started with the inspection, what to expect from the inspection, how to take the inspection and then do the inspection repair addendum that we do for the buyer. So in doing that, we do give 3 inspectors named to our buyers, but we want to go ahead and give your full name and your company name and your address and email, phone number, how to reach you.
Yeah, so my name's David Giese. I run Giese Home Inspections. I'm based out of Arkansas. I'm based out of Alexander. I travel all over central Arkansas. My number is 501-507-2909. And you can reach me, call or text. You can add me on Facebook, Dave Giese or Giese Home Inspections. And then my email is giesehomeinspections@gmail.com. So.
Okay.
And we will also include that in the caption, so if you didn't get all of that, it will be on the description. All right, thanks you guys.
Thanks, Dave.